back here again. First YouTube video with actual topic. I'm gonna be going to the NBA today. Talk about possible destinations for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a free agent this offseason. Um, there's only four realistic spots I think he'll go to. Because you keep hearing all these crazy places Kevin Durant will end up. I think there's only realistic four possible destinations, and one will be Oklahoma City. The only reason why I say Oklahoma City is because what they're the only team that he's played for his whole career, so he's very comfortable there, and he's built a relationship with Russell Westbrook. They've been good together. They've been successful throughout the years. They haven't won an NBA title, but they've been the one, and they were within one game this year of being in the NBA Finals for his second time of his career. So, I would say Oklahoma City is probably one of the top destinations for him, just for him to go back there. Just everything that he's done with them is the only reason why I say he'll leave is because him and Russell Westbrook have done most of the work for so long, and they just don't have a supporting cast and a bench around them to get them to the finals. But hey, I could be wrong. They were within one game of winning the finals. Of getting to the finals this year. So, I could be wrong about that. And another destination would be the Washington Wizards. That is a destination I like. I would love to see KD go to, because he will go home to his hometown, back with his family, friends. He'll be playing with John Wall and Bradley Beal, who is one of the best backcourt duos in the NBA. If KD goes to Washington, I think that they will most definitely be in the playoffs again. And plus, they will have some stuff to do that they can do in the draft. They may be able to add other players in free agency along with Kevin Durant. If he goes to Washington, it'll be cool because he'll be able to go to Washington and he'll be able to reunite with his old head coach and Scott Brooks. When he first coached the Thunder, that was the Thunder's old head coach. And then Washington also signed his former high school coach, I believe, as their player development assistant or something like that. Washington brung in Kevin Durant's high school coach, so that would be dope. But it would be kind of hard to get a lot of chemistry going there. But that would be really cool to see Kevin Durant go to Washington. It's realistic. I think they make it big three there. Why would he not go there? You would think, because it is his hometown. He would be playing with John Wall and Bradley Beal, who, like I said, one of the best backcourt duos in the NBA. And I think as time goes on, they will probably be the best backcourt duo in the NBA. They're so good. They're so good. So what they would do with Kevin Durant, I think it would actually make them a title contender if Kevin Durant signs there and kind of brings them under his wing. And then another place is Miami. Miami, it's not gonna be like how it was with LeBron, when LeBron came there and they had the big three and stuff like that. Wade and Bosh definitely aren't the same players as they were then. But with Wade and Bosh, the name that they have, they are definitely those two names will probably bring in free agents for Miami. Kevin Durant would probably want to go play there just because of, the history that the Miami Heat have had, when they had LeBron there. And, Kevin Durant could be, that missing piece that they do need, because, think of it. It would be an amazing starting five. You go with Gordon Dragic as your point guard, Dwayne Wade as your shooting guard, who Dwayne Wade should be out of his prime, but he's still playing like he's in his prime. I don't care what anybody is saying. I think he averaged 25 points per game during the playoffs. So that there's no way he should be doing that. But it looks like he's still in his prime, and he shouldn't be. So you go with him as your shooting guard. You go with KD as your small forward. Bosh as your power forward, and then your center would be Hassan Whiteside, assuming that they bring him back, because I think he's also a free agent too this summer. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see that. That would be cool to see him go to Miami. Just don't know how how that would work. But a lot of people were saying how would LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh work? How would that work? Because they were both like the leaders of the teams that they were on before, so they were wondering how they would make that work. And Eric Spoelstra, he figured out a way to make it work, and they ended up winning like 2 championships. So um, I think they could do it. I think if KD went to Miami, I think Miami would be successful again. Another destination would be Boston. I'm a Celtic fan, and I'm not saying this because I want this to happen. I mean, I do want it to happen, but I'm not saying I'm being honest here because Boston is in the best position than any team this offseason. You talk about they have 3 first-round draft picks, they have tons of cap space. Just they stockpile draft picks for the next like 3-4 seasons. So I mean, what Danny Ainge could do here is what Miami did. Talk to Kevin's agent, which I think they've done that already. Talk to Kevin Durant's agent and kind of see who Kevin Durant wants to play with, and that's what the Heat did. They talked to LeBron and say, okay, if we bring Wade back, do you want Bosh to come in? That's kind of what they did with LeBron, and I think that's what Danny Ainge, for the general manager for the Celtics, is doing with this whole Kevin Durant thing, because the Celtics do have the 3rd pick of the draft this year, and that is, that's catching some people's eyes because there's so much talent, I think, in this draft class, with Ingram, Simmons, and then Buddy Hield and all those guys. There's some good talent in the draft. So the Celtics could, you talk about possible stars that they could bring in if they want to trade that pick. They could bring in someone like DeMarcus Cousins to help team up with KD. They could bring in maybe like Kevin Love, who isn't fitting in well with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Just he hasn't really, seemed to gel with them. So he could be a possible person that they can bring in Kevin Love. Another person is Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, he just signed an extension last offseason, but Chicago could be willing to trade Jimmy Butler if they're really ready to hit full rebuilding mode. If they're really ready to hit full rebuilding mode and start, trying to bring in young talent and young prospects, it will start like a blockbuster trade. I think they would probably want to get rid of Jimmy Butler. They'll probably want to get rid of Derrick Rose. And best chance for them to like start rebuilding mode is, take a lot of picks, because the Celtics can give up a handful of picks right now and still have a lot of room for the future, because they have even more picks ahead of the future. I mean, they have so many picks from Brooklyn, picks from Memphis, LA. They've stockpiled so many draft picks, I think, for like the next 5 years. So Danny Ainge can trade a handful of picks for a star and have a handful of picks to work with. So you talk about bringing one of those potential stars for draft picks to team up with KD. Plus, you already have Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is an amazing scorer, and I think the Celtics are already a great team, like as themselves. But there is no lie that they need more people, and Isaiah Thomas cannot be, the main leading guy of scoring. He can't really do that. He can't pull that weight on by himself, especially because of his height and stuff like that. So I think you bring in Kevin Durant along with someone like Jimmy Butler, that would be tremendous. I would love to see that. Or DeMarcus Cousins, that would be interesting to see how he's a scoring center. So I would love to see him be a scoring center and then also work on his defense in Boston. And then Kevin Love, I mean, he hasn't really fit in with Kyrie and LeBron and that stuff there in Cleveland. So I mean, I don't know if he'd be a good fit for Boston. I was just naming off names because he still is a good player. Kevin Love still is a good player no matter what. I think he'll resurrect his career sometime here in like the next 3 seasons, but I don't think he's gonna resurrect it with Cleveland. So I would just name in Boston as a destination for him to get out. And not to mention they have a lot of cap space this all season. So Boston could be a potential destination for KD. KD names up those players who he wants to play with. Danny Ainge could go out and get those guys and bring in Kevin Durant. We could see the Celtics contending for a title this upcoming season. So that would be dope. I'm a Celtic fan. I'd love to see that. But it, it's a long shot for the Celtics to bring in a bunch of stars, like I said. But I would say his best opportunity would probably be staying in OKC because that's just where he's familiar. It seems like it's working for Oklahoma City. They were within one game this year going to the finals. If not OKC, I would say Washington. He could win there. He's back to his hometown. Um, he's playing with his former old coach Scott Brooks, who he developed a close relationship with over the years in Oklahoma City. So I think it's either out of him returning to OKC or him going home to play in Washington. That would be dope. So those are the destinations I think Kevin Durant will end up. Um, thank you guys for watching, and whoever watches, thank you.